Have you ever wondered why some men do not just accept this part of intimacy, but seem deeply drawn to it? And why can that same moment make many women feel wanted, nervous, powerful, and confused all at once? Before we go deeper, do me a quick favor. If you enjoy honest conversations that make relationships easier to understand, tap like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who always overthinks what people feel, but never say out loud. Because this topic is not only about sex, it is about desire, trust, confidence, emotion, and the strange gap between what people do and what they are actually feeling inside. A lot of women have asked this question in silence. They notice a man wanting to kiss them there, wanting to stay there, wanting to please them there, and a thought immediately appears. Why? What does this mean? Is it real desire? Is it performance? Is it ego? Is it love? Is it biology? Or is it something men never say directly? The reason this question matters so much is simple. Intimacy is never just physical. The body is involved, yes, but so is the mind. So is memory. So is insecurity. So is the fear of being judged. A woman can be in a deeply intimate moment and still be trapped in her own thoughts. She may wonder how she looks. She may wonder how she smells. She may wonder if he actually likes it, or if he is only doing what he thinks a good partner is supposed to do. And when that question stays unanswered, pleasure gets replaced by tension. So let's clear the fog. Men are not all the same, and no single answer explains every person. But there are clear patterns. There are biological reasons, emotional reasons, relationship reasons, and psychological reasons. And once you understand them, a lot of things start making more sense. Not just his behavior, but your reaction too. One of the first things to understand is that many men experience desire in a very focused way. When they are strongly attracted to a woman, they often want closeness, not distance. They do not only want to look at her, they want to explore her. They want to feel that they know her body in a direct and personal way. For many men, kissing a woman there feels like one of the most intimate forms of access. It is not casual in the mind, even when it may look casual on the surface. It can feel intense, private, and deeply personal. That alone creates part of the appeal. But attraction is only the beginning. What keeps a man emotionally engaged in that moment is often the sense that he is making her feel something powerful. Many men are strongly affected by visible response. If he can feel that his partner is relaxing, reacting, breathing differently, becoming more present, or trusting him more, that can be highly rewarding for him. Not only sexually, but emotionally. He is not just touching her, he is affecting her. He is creating an experience in real time. That can feel meaningful. This is where a lot of women misunderstand male desire. They assume that if a man enjoys giving pleasure, then it must still be secretly about him. Sometimes that is true. Sometimes ego is part of it. But ego is not the whole story. Many men genuinely enjoy being the source of pleasure. They like seeing that they can make the woman they want feel good. It gives them a sense of connection, effectiveness, and emotional closeness. In simple words, her pleasure can become part of his own. That matters because men are not always taught how to express tenderness in open language. A lot of them grow up with pressure to appear strong, controlled, and emotionally guarded. But in intimacy, they may express care through focus, through effort, through attention, through actions that say, "I want to understand you," even if they never speak those words directly. For some men, kissing a woman there is one of the clearest ways they know how to show desire and devotion at the same time. There is also something important about vulnerability. A woman receiving that kind of attention is in a very exposed position, physically and emotionally. If she allows it, she is allowing herself to be seen, to be felt, and to be known in a deeply private way. For a healthy man who cares about the woman he is with, that trust can feel huge. It can make the moment feel serious, not silly, sacred, not just sexual. And when a person feels trusted, they often become even more invested. At the same time, this is where female psychology becomes so important. Many women do not experience that moment the way men imagine they do. He may think, "I am showing her how much I want her." Meanwhile, she may be thinking, "What if something is wrong with me? What if I do not look normal? What if he notices something I am insecure about? That emotional split happens all the time. Two people can be in the same intimate moment while living in completely different mental realities. That is why confidence changes everything. Not fake confidence, not performing confidence, real comfort. When a woman feels safe in her body, safe with her partner, and safe in the moment, she becomes more open to pleasure. She stops trying to manage how she is being perceived and starts actually feeling what is happening. And the irony is that many men are most turned on not by perfection, but by that openness, by the feeling that she trusts him enough to receive. A lot of this comes down to what desire means to men emotionally. Some men chase novelty, some chase validation, some chase domination. But when a man truly enjoys kissing his partner there, in a loving relationship, the deeper pattern is usually not control. It is closeness. He wants to feel near her in the most private way possible. He wants to know that she lets him in. He wants to feel chosen in a place where no one else belongs. That can trigger a very powerful emotional response, even in men who would never describe it that way. There is also the simple truth that many women respond more strongly to focused external stimulation than to penetration alone. That is not a flaw. It is not unusual. It is not a secret sign that something is wrong. It is how many female bodies work. So when a man learns that this kind of attention helps his partner feel more pleasure, he may begin to value it even more. Not because he is following a rule, but because he likes knowing he is doing something that actually matters to her experience. And once that link forms, it becomes powerful. He associates that act with her response. Her response increases his excitement. His excitement increases his effort. A feedback loop begins. That is one reason some men seem especially enthusiastic. They are not only doing something, they are reacting to what it creates between them. Let me say something clearly here, because it needs to be said. A man wanting to kiss you there does not automatically mean he respects you, loves you, or understands you. Desire alone is not proof of character. Some men are selfish, some are careless, some use intimacy for control or performance. So context matters. The real question is not only whether he wants to do it. The real question is how he does it. Is he attentive, patient, responsive? Does he care what feels good to you? Does he listen when you speak? Does he stop when you are uncomfortable? That is where intention becomes visible. The healthiest version of this dynamic happens when a man is not trying to act out a fantasy at your expense, but trying to connect with the real person in front of him. He is present. He is curious. He is not rushing. He is not trying to prove something. He is paying attention. And in those moments, what may look like a sexual act from the outside can actually feel like emotional communication. If this conversation is helping you see intimacy in a new way, save this video for later, send it to one friend who needs to hear it, and subscribe so you do not miss the next deep dive. Some topics are too important to leave half understood. Now let's talk about one of the biggest hidden issues in female psychology around this subject: self-consciousness. A huge number of women struggle to fully enjoy intimate attention because their mind becomes an enemy in the middle of the moment. They are not asking, "What do I feel?" They are asking, "How am I being judged?" And those are two completely different experiences. When a woman is mentally scanning herself for flaws, her body often tightens. She becomes less present, less responsive, less able to relax into pleasure. It is hard to enjoy anything while mentally standing outside yourself like a critic. This does not mean she is broken. It means she is human. Many women have absorbed years of pressure about what their body should look like, how it should smell, how it should respond, and how quickly it should feel comfortable. That pressure does not disappear just because a loving partner is present. What makes this even harder is that women often underestimate how differently men experience attraction in real intimate moments. Men are not usually comparing a real partner to some imaginary perfect body with the level of microscopic focus women fear. In an intimate moment, a man who truly desires his partner is usually focused on the whole emotional and physical experience. He is feeling attraction, closeness, excitement, and attention all at once. He is not standing there with a checklist of flaws. Most of the harsh judgment is happening in her own mind. That does not mean hygiene and health do not matter. Of course they do. Comfort matters, cleanliness matters, communication matters. If something feels medically off, painful, or unusual, that deserves care and attention. But normal does not mean odorless, flawless, or identical to some false standard. Real bodies are alive, they vary, they change, they have rhythms, and a healthy partner understands that. This is one reason trust is more important than technique. Technique can improve an experience, yes, but trust changes the meaning of the entire moment. If a woman trusts that she will not be judged, rushed, or pressured, her body often responds very differently. She can relax, she can guide, she can enjoy. She can receive without feeling that she must perform gratitude every second. And that matters because receiving is harder for many women than people admit. A lot of women are used to caring for others emotionally. They monitor reactions. They worry about disappointing people. They think about what the other person needs before they think about what they need. In intimacy, that habit can quietly continue. So even when the attention is on them, they may still feel responsible for managing the other person's experience. Is he getting tired? Should I react more? Am I taking too long? Those thoughts can quietly drain pleasure from the room, but many men do not experience it that way at all. If he genuinely enjoys pleasing his partner, then her taking her time is not automatically a problem in his mind. It can actually deepen his focus. It can make him feel more involved, more connected, more needed. This is especially true when he sees her becoming more relaxed and more responsive. In that case, what she fears is burdening him may actually be the very thing that makes him feel closer to her. There is also a powerful emotional layer that often goes unnoticed. For some men, kissing a woman there feels like a form of acceptance. It can feel like saying, "There is no part of you I reject." That may sound dramatic, but intimacy often is dramatic beneath the surface. Human beings are full of shame, fear, desire, and longing. So when someone gives affectionate attention to a part of the body many women feel insecure about, it can land emotionally in a very deep place. It can challenge old fears. It can heal something. Or, if trust is missing, it can trigger anxiety. That is why the same act can feel loving with one person and uncomfortable with another. Female psychology also includes a strong need for meaning. Many women are not only reacting to the act itself, they are reacting to what they believe it says about the relationship. If it feels tender, patient, and sincere, it may register as love, admiration, or devotion. If it feels rushed, mechanical, or selfish, it may register as pressure or performance. In other words, the emotional tone around the act shapes the experience just as much as the act itself. This helps explain something many people miss. A woman may say she likes this kind of intimacy with one partner and dislike it with another, even if the physical action is similar. Why? Because the body is not isolated from emotion. Context matters, safety matters, trust matters, feeling desired matters, feeling respected matters. Female pleasure often opens through the nervous system before it opens through the body. That is also why some men become even more drawn to this kind of intimacy in serious relationships. In a casual setting, the act may be exciting. In a committed relationship, it can become emotionally layered. It may carry reassurance. It may say, "I still want you." It may say, "I know your body now." It may say, "I am not here only for what I can take." Over time, that meaning can become one of the reasons it remains powerful. There is another truth that deserves honesty. Some men enjoy the sense of surrender involved, not because they want to harm or dominate, but because they are deeply aroused by being trusted with someone's vulnerable pleasure. That can feel emotionally intense. In a healthy bond, this does not reduce the woman. It can actually elevate her in his mind. He is not turning away from her vulnerability. He is moving toward it with focus. And that is part of why the act can feel so emotionally charged for both people. Still, none of this works without communication. Silence creates confusion. A man may think he is doing something loving, while a woman feels pressured. A woman may think she has to pretend enjoyment to protect his feelings, while he assumes everything is fine. This is how couples slowly build bad patterns, not because they do not care, but because they are both guessing. So if you want this part of intimacy to feel better, the most powerful shift is often not a new move. It is honesty. Simple honesty. Slower. Softer. Not there. That feels good. I need a minute. I feel shy. I want this, but I need reassurance. Those kinds of words do not ruin intimacy. They build it. The right partner does not feel insulted by guidance. He feels invited in. And if he really enjoys kissing you there, that guidance often helps him enjoy it even more. Why? Because now he is not performing blindly. He is connecting accurately. He is learning you, not guessing about women in general. That can make the experience feel far more personal, and personal is where real intimacy lives. Quick pause before we go deeper. If this video is giving words to feelings you have never fully explained, hit like, subscribe, and share it with one person you trust. Quiet confusion grows in silence, but understanding can change a relationship faster than most people think. Now let's talk about the different kinds of men, because motivation matters. One type is the generous lover. He is deeply turned on by your pleasure. He pays attention. He is not in a rush to get credit. He wants to learn what works for you, and he adjusts. This kind of man often feels proud, not in an arrogant way, but in a loving way, when he knows you feel safe and satisfied with him. Another type is the curious lover. He is fascinated by the female body and by individual differences. He wants to explore, discover, and understand. If he is respectful, this can be wonderful because curiosity makes him engaged. But curiosity must still stay connected to your comfort. Interest without sensitivity can become self-centered very fast. Then there is the reassurance-seeking lover. He may enjoy giving pleasure partly because it makes him feel valued, masculine, or successful. This does not make him bad. Many people tie intimacy to confidence, but with this type, honesty is especially important. If you fake reactions to protect his ego, both of you lose. He learns the wrong things, and you drift further away from real pleasure. There is also the emotionally attached lover. For him, kissing you there is not just exciting, it feels deeply bonding. It may be one of the few moments where his mind becomes completely quiet and focused on connection. He feels close to you there, grounded, needed, chosen. These men may not always explain their emotions clearly, but their intensity often comes from attachment, not just arousal. Of course, there are selfish versions too. Some men like the image of being skilled more than the reality of being attentive. Some use intimacy to collect praise. Some copy what they think they should do without ever checking what you actually feel. That is why women should not only ask, "Does he like doing it?" but also, "What happens to me when he does?" Do you feel relaxed or tense? Seen or managed? Open or shut down? Your body often answers the truth before your mind does. This brings us to one of the deepest tensions in the whole subject. Men often experience giving pleasure as an expression of desire. Women often experience receiving pleasure through the filter of self-worth. That difference creates misunderstanding. He may be trying to worship. She may be worrying she must be flawless enough to deserve it. He may be feeling drawn toward her. She may be trying not to be a burden. He may be lost in the moment. She may still be deciding if it is safe to let go. Once you understand that, you see why this topic is so emotionally loaded. It is not really about one act. It is about what happens when desire meets insecurity, when closeness meets shame, when love meets fear, when attention meets the question, "Can I really trust this?" That is why some women cry after finally feeling relaxed with a loving partner. Not because something bad happened, but because their nervous system finally believed they did not need to defend themselves. There is something else worth saying. A man who truly enjoys kissing his partner there is often responding to more than physical sensation. He may be responding to the emotional atmosphere, the intimacy of the position, the sense of being allowed into a private world, and the visible proof that he can make her feel good. That combination can be powerful in a way many men do not fully analyze, even when they feel it strongly. And this is where the title question becomes easier to answer. Why do men love it? Because for many of them, it combines desire, closeness, pride, curiosity, tenderness, and excitement into one intensely personal act. Why does female psychology matter? Because the same act can feel beautiful or stressful, depending on what meaning a woman attaches to it, how safe she feels, and whether she can stay present enough to receive what is being offered. If you are a woman listening to this, here is the part I hope stays with you. You do not need to become someone else to be worthy of pleasure. You do not need to perform confidence to deserve tenderness. You do not need to look perfect, sound perfect, or react on cue. The right kind of intimacy is not built on your perfection. It is built on honesty, comfort, and trust. And if you are thinking about your own relationship, maybe the most useful question is not, why does he like it? Maybe the better question is, what is happening between us in that moment? Is there care? Is there listening? Is there safety? Is there mutual desire? Is there room for truth? Because if those things are present, then this part of intimacy can become more than a physical act. It can become a language. Here is my last favor to ask. If this conversation felt thoughtful, real, or healing in any way, like the video, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who would never ask this question out loud, but has definitely wondered about it in private. In the end, the answer is not mysterious, but it is deeper than most people think. Many men love kissing a woman there because it makes them feel close, trusted, aroused, and emotionally involved all at once. Many women struggle with it not because they do not want pleasure, but because receiving deep attention can bring old insecurities to the surface. When those two realities meet without understanding, confusion grows. But when they meet with trust, honesty, and care, intimacy changes. So if you have been carrying silent doubt, let this be the thought you leave with. His desire may be more sincere than your insecurity allows you to believe, and your discomfort may make more sense than you have ever admitted. Both things can be true. The goal is not to force comfort or pretend confidence. The goal is to create the kind of connection where your body does not feel like a problem to solve. Because the strongest intimacy is not when one person performs and the other person watches. It is when both people become more honest, more present, and more unguarded. It is when desire feels safe. It is when pleasure does not have to fight shame. It is when attention feels like care, not pressure. That is when this part of a relationship stops being confusing and starts becoming meaningful. And maybe that is the real answer underneath everything. Men often love it because, at its best, it is not only about giving pleasure. It is about being allowed to love someone in a way that feels focused, intimate, and unforgettable. And women learn to enjoy it most when they no longer feel they must earn that love by being flawless. They only have to be present enough to receive it. If you can remember that, a lot changes. Not overnight, not magically, but enough to soften the fear, quiet the doubt, and make room for a different kind of closeness. One where desire is not something to question every second. One where your body is not an enemy. One where intimacy feels less like a test and more like a truth. And when two people reach that place, what once felt awkward or loaded can become one of the most connected experiences they share. Script data. Completely original, high-retention YouTube script in simple English, written for smooth voiceover delivery.